And happy Halloween, everybody. Welcome to Smack Draws, the rewind, where RN and myself recap the latest week in wrestling of AEW and WWE. We're your hosts. I'm Kyle Tyson.
And I am Mr. 89, Mr. 8984, Mr. Mute RN. What's good, y'all?
Hey, there we go. A little bit of a flow there, tossing it to you.
Let's go.
Yeah, man, my camera's a little bit different today. I forgot to charge my DSLR, and I was too lazy to move my webcam, so you're going to get this nice little corner angle of me all show. You guys, I hope you're enjoying the holidays. It's obviously Halloween. If you got kids, you've probably already taken them trick-or-treating. It's a school night, right. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe you're going to Halloween parties. RN, you do any fun stuff this weekend?
Oh yeah, we went to a couple Halloween parties. We have a big one, like Halloween with my crew. It's like we take it very fucking serious. So we had a pretty big bash last night.
I see a picture of you here. You dressed as Ice Cube from Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's that with you, man? You guys nailed this.
Oh, that's my little cousin TJ.
You guys nailed. Dude, go, man. Look, I'm too white. Go ahead and name the characters. It's the two security guards.
Craig and Day-Day.
Who?
Craig and Day-Day, top flight security of the world.
Yes, sir, man. Dude, hop on our social media. Hop on Twitter. Check out at 89 or at Mr. 8984. Check out this picture. You absolutely killed it with your costumes, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah, like I said, a buddy of mine, he was Blade. He was more like Wishblade. It was my buddy that was Undertaker last year that I showed y'all. He was Blade this year. And he's fucking, he goes all out. Like, he's not playing.
Yeah, I saw you guys the little camera, the 360, trying to hit it with that little video of him too, man. You guys crushed it. I took the kids and my wife to a monster truck show on Friday. It was a low key one. It wasn't like Monster Jam.
Right.
It was still fun though, by all means. But we had a good time. Myself, being a person who's always looking out for deals, I'm kicking myself for leaving it up to my wife. Because she got these tickets, right, where for every adult admission you get a free child. So both our kids got in free, but my wife ended up waiting. And with events like this, when you wait, the ticket cost goes up. Yep. So originally we could have both got tickets at $16.50 a piece, $33 in total. By the time she got around to ordering those son bitches, they were $60 a pop, man.
Get the fuck.
I was hot, RN. It cost me more to go to this low-key monster truck show than it did to attend AEW Fight for the Fallen, man.
Nice.
God dang, man. I was hot. I saw some cool stuff, man. I didn't realize people, I don't know like if it's like a monster truck thing or a heritage thing, but I saw some people messing up their popcorn while I was there. Now, I don't claim to be the most cultured person, all right? But I saw a whole ton of people topping their popcorn with, like, jalapenos. And that alone didn't freak me out. Like, the first person, I was like, ugh, what are you doing? You know? But then I saw, like, 3, 4, 5 other people all doing the same thing, right? And I was like, okay, maybe I'm missing out on something. But this crazy woman who needs to be locked up like immediately pulls up beside me at the hot dog stand, takes her jalapeno topped popcorn and douses that with ketchup.
What?
Dude, I instantly got scared for my life. Like I clutched my kids, was like, get away from this woman. Yes, no And my coworker was like, well, maybe it was verde sauce or something. I was like, listen, this was a cheap little hot dog stand with mayonnaise packets. That was ketchup. Right. All right. Yeah. That was Heinz. God knows, man. It was
like saying like that. Like Adam used to live in Albuquerque, and I'd go out there to visit him and stuff. And like we go to all these restaurants, and they put fucking green chili on everything. Every McDonald's has it. Not Taco Bell. Any place that sells food. You can get green chilies on your sandwich, hot dog, whatever it is. Even so many Italian restaurants, you could get like fettuccine and shit and put green chilies in it. Like it was the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Oh man, I don't know. What's one of your weird food habits? You got any weird ones?
Shit, not that I can really think of. I'm trying to think. No, not really, man. I'm fat, man. I eat whatever. I don't give a shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying is maybe we have something that we like. Like for me, for instance, as gross as people, I put mayo on like anything that could have a condiment. I'll put mayo on it. I'm talking
Sometimes I'm in that too. Yeah, all that French
French
fries, fucking
fries,
hot dogs,
hot dogs,
whatever.
breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I'll
Breakfast
put
sandwich.
mayo on anything, man.
Yeah, that's me too. Like literally, especially bro. I love sausage. Sausage, egg, and cheese with some mayonnaise, bro. That's fire, bro.
You are the second person I've ever met outside of myself that is
Hell yeah.
admitted to the breakfast sandwich mayo. I figured that's like the one thing where like people would draw the line.
No, I'm here for it. I'm
Yeah.
definitely here for it.
Yeah, usually I'll have that friend. They'll tell me like I saw him put ketchup on their eggs, and it grossed me out. I was like, oh, you just wait.
I got something for that ass.
Yeah, you think that's bad?
Yeah, you know, that got me thinking. Like, can't think of any like weird shit that I like. People look at me like I'm crazy for.
I used to because my dad. I don't know if this is like a weird habit or just like a poor habit, but we used to eat elbow macaroni and butter just with some salt and pepper, and that was
My
it.
grandma did. My grandma did do that.
Yeah,
Like literally, she just put this like she'd make this like kind of like a vinegar and oil kind of sauce thing, like almost like Italian dressing, really, and just like homemade shit. And she put, like you said, make some macaroni, salt, pepper, and then put that some of that like concoction, like oil and vinegar concoction
just
on
keep
it.
it so it's not dry and sticky.
Yeah, exactly. Almost like it was almost like like an Italian macaroni salad, I guess, kind of. I guess you could say, but yeah, no, I've seen that before too. That might be just a southern thing, maybe.
Maybe.
Because
Well,
my grandma,
I mean,
she's
this
from
we were
Alabama.
eating this up north.
Oh,
What else? My mom got me on this when we were kids. Once again, maybe a poor thing. Would be a flour tortilla shell, light coating of butter, just a very light coating of butter. Couple slices of ham, a slice of cheese, roll it up, microwave it for 45 seconds.
my girlfriend eats that for lunch every day.
For real,
Like,
a melted ham and cheese roll up.
I'm not even kidding with you.
Yes,
I
sir.
swear to God to you, she eats that every day for lunch. I'm like, what do we even buy bread for? Because I don't really like bread. Like, and she eats those tortillas. I swear to God, she makes a roll up. She calls it a ham and cheese roll up.
Yeah,
She
no,
eats it for
same
lunch every
thing,
day.
man. Same
Yeah.
thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I lived on those things when we were broke. Man, I'd throw 3 of those things in the microwave, call it a day.
Good to go.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm still trying to think, like, do I do anything crazy? Like, I don't think I do.
So you don't know you do it until you're around somebody that it
And they
freaks
call you out
out.
on it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, like, has anybody ever called me out on anything? Oh, I guess for the most part, like, I mix all my food, like, so especially something depending on what it is. Like, I'm not one of those people that wants to separate. Like, I want everything all in one bite.
Like just like the KFC bowl, right?
Yeah. Like,
That's like the most American way of eating is just, you know what? Instead of this like 4-course meal, throw that junk in a blender,
In a bowl.
put it in a bowl, top it with some cheese, call it a day.
I'm like, I literally mix all my shit. Like, I want to bite it. When I take a bite of something, I want to taste every single fucking thing on the plate.
Oh man, it's disgusting. Okay, I'll give you that one. I don't do that. I have a habit of I eat my my sides before my entree. Like, you know how like if you get like, let's say you get like a fast food combo where it's like fries and then the meal.
Yeah.
I can't touch my meal until I've ate 100% of my fries. Like I can't go back and forth. Like I have to just
Like I
eat
said,
my fries first.
I mix everything. So sometimes I just put my fucking fries on the burger and smash it down and keep it moving.
Good Lord, man. Good Lord. All right, man. Look, I swear we're a wrestling show.
You
Hey,
need to know people too.
really quick, man. Thank you guys for listening to us. I know probably we're not going to have a good turnout on the live stream, so you're probably catching this on YouTube. I really want to appreciate you guys for listening. Don't forget, man, smash that like button, subscribe, notification bell. It really helps us out. But also, we didn't quite meet our goal of 100 Twitch followers, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't still head on over to twitch.tv/SmackedRaw. Give us a follow. We're pumping out some great content.
Yes.
We just had Bammers Slammers trivia, Wheel of Trivia the other week, man. We had the best turnout for our live turnout. We had a blast, RN. It was a great show. Unofficially, as of right now, but we'll make it official. Reek from Young Kings Wrestling has set the record for the highest score in
Get the fuck out of
Wheel of
here.
Trivia. Yes, sir.
Let's go, Reek.
Yeah. So it didn't count initially because what happened was earlier in the evening there was a question regarding, I believe, the Wyatt family, and one of the contestants referred to Luke Harper as Brody. Well, Bama let it go through. He pushed it through.
Right.
But later in the evening, a similar type question came up about the revival, and I think Enrique went by their AEW names, and Bama denied it. So we called him out on the chat later in the evening and was like, hey, you let this one go, but not this one. And so on the recording, Bama says that he tied TC, but once we make the adjustment, Reek will have set the record by exactly one correct answer as the highest single scoring contestant on the show. So good job, Reek. You deserve that point. You're going to get it on the All-Star show whenever Bama gets that one going. Blowout Man's in the chat.
Yeah.
Happy,
what's up, Blowout?
Happy All Hallows Eve. Oh, wait, let me do him Blowout's voice. Happy All Hallows Eve, Aaron and Kyle Tyson. God bless you, O'Hara brothers. The ultimate Blowout Man dose my faceplate of the warrior. And now I'm doing biceps right now. God damn, Blowout Man. Oh, shoot.
Is the All-Star thing, is it already set, or?
Yes. So it's going to be
contestants, I mean.
Yeah, so it's going to be, I believe, it's going to be TC and Reek from Young Kings Wrestling, and then also Kenny from Kenny for Your Thoughts.
Okay.
Those are the three current winners of the three shows, and they'll all meet up in the All-Star. We'll have to work out some type of like trophy or something to reward these guys other than bragging rights. We'll get behind the scenes. We'll give them.
We need to work it out where everybody's there too. Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as in the chat and everything, like we need to make sure we're on, so we're at least all there and involved in, since it's the All-Star show or whatever.
Yeah, I mean everybody turned up for the last one. We had a really good turnout last time, so. But yeah. So I mean, you can catch all this live content, man, right over on twitch.tv/SmackedRaw. Head over there, follow us. And then lastly, like, of course, we always go by, you can support the show on patreon.com/SmackedRawPodcast or paypal.me/SmackedRaw. If you ever want to financially contribute to the show, we greatly appreciate it. Everything goes back into the show so we can produce better content for you guys. Speaking of content, man, let's go ahead and actually officially kick off this show. Once again, if you're new to the show, Aaron and myself are not going to run down each show, Raw, NXT, AEW's Dynamite, SmackDown, and Rampage in its entirety. We kind of just like to talk about the bullet points, things that stuck out to us. If it was a nothing match like Corbin and Shinsuke meeting up for the 11th time on television since May, we're not going to bother wasting time talking about it. It's a throwaway match and means nothing. So we like to focus on the things that were really good and progress stories, or things that we thought were god-awful and was a big misstep by either of the companies. Let me see here. Let's pull up my Raw notes, and let's pull up Raw right here. Boom, Raw on the screen. Big thing here, man. They came out strong on this show.
Hell yeah.
Besides kind of the lame promo where Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, and Finn Balor all came out and just laid out all their accolades, we determined we were going to get a fatal four-way ladder match in the main event of Raw for the number one contender spot for Big E's. He holds the WWE championship, right?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is a Universal champion.
Roman's a Universal.
Yeah, which that match turned out to be fire. I mean, that could be literally just all of Raw in a nutshell.
I mean, that's honestly, that is all Raw in a nutshell. I mean, don't get me wrong, for the first official show with the new rosters, like, we got some decent stuff going on, and I'm kind of here for a lot of it. Not so much the Dirty Dogs being the number one contenders. Like, I didn't know about that one. But pretty much everything. Oh, Damian Priest going fucking ape shit.
Yeah, it looks like Damian Priest has a new gimmick. Yeah. So gone is what I've always referred to as a Nightwolf from Mortal Kombat shtick where he has the bow and arrow and lights his name on fire, and now has this essentially split down the middle graphic, which is really good.
Yeah.
Where Damien is lit up in fire, almost like to represent something like a Cain aesthetic, like demon, and priest, of course, leaning into the holy aspect. So you got the dark and the light split down the middle, and that is the direction they're going with his character. It was really obvious. During his match with T-Bar, he caught a computer chair to the face, which, by the way, looked like it really connected. Like, it looked like he genuinely did snap.
Those chairs are not light. Those chairs are big and fucking heavy. It probably hurt worse than that. They getting hit with them fake steel chairs.
You got to remember, man, Braun Strowman was like 350 when he tossed one, okay? It was a little bit more proportional for his body. Like, they're not quite as easy to chuck for everybody else.
Right.
But yeah, Damien caught one to the face, snapped, almost like this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde aspect. Went completely, like you said, just went like ape crap on him. Beat the hell out of T-Bar afterwards.
Yeah, I hope that's the end of fucking T-Bar.
Yes, please give us Dijak back.
Yeah, literally. Like, what the hell? I watched Keith Lee versus him and PWG, an old match from a few years ago. And I'm like, this is the dude that's been wasted as T-Bar for the last year and a half. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. I wonder if it's just an aspect of he doesn't wrestle like a big man. You hear it from all the big wrestlers in WWE. At some point, WWE tells them, stop being agile, be slow, be a giant. And that's never been Dijak's thing. He's never been a slow, methodical wrestler. He's always been athletically impressive for his size. The same thing with Keith Lee.
Yeah. And that's my thing is like the whole reason why you sign these guys, which I know it wasn't Vince and them because they clearly don't fucking know any decent talent good as far as what a talent can be or evolve to. But the whole thing that got him, Keith Lee, and a lot of these other guys to the dance to begin with is the fact that they could do the things that they could do being fucking 300 pounds. Like, and if you take that away from them, they're jobbers. I'm sorry. They just are. Like, because even Keith Lee doesn't have that. He don't have that punch anymore, that spark anymore that he had because he can't, like you said, he's just a giant. Throw people, push people, power bomb, fucking match over. Like,
yeah,
I don't understand it. Like, why do they neuter people out the gate and stop them from doing the things that made them famous and got them on the map to fucking begin with and got over WWE to begin with?
Now, I will play devil's advocate here. I went on record back on Monday and said that. I want to find my tweet because I don't want to mix my words here, but it's probably lost. I went on record and said that regardless how we feel about the gimmick change, this is like the most WWE has invested in Keith Lee. And how did I put it? There's the Liv Morgan, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Oh man, I don't know. It's gonna be hard to find. I'll find it literally like after the topic's over. But I said, regardless how we feel about it, this is the best that they've done with him since he's come up to main roster. Absolutely. And so we just kind of have to wait and see how it's going to evolve. In my opinion, it's just. It's like, how do you put it, man? It's like I'm excited. Just because, like, okay, they're doing something. Maybe that's what it is the fact that, like, they're actually doing something with him instead of
Well, my thing
nothing.
is, too, though, but they are doing something, but, like, the main thing about him was his athleticism and his charisma. Right. And how he made you love him no matter what. I feel like they've chopped him off at the knees because they don't let him do both those things. Like, it's like going to work and only having half your tools, or like going to work and only having your laptop and not your cell phone or your cell. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, don't send me on a job without all the tools in my bag to get the fucking job done.
No, I agree with you there. There's more things you can capitalize with Keith Lee, like his personality. He has a huge personality.
Yeah.
No. So, I mean, I completely agree with you there.
And even Dijak, too, to a certain extent, like, he's a little weirder. But, like, that feast your eyes shit, like, my daughter still does that to this day. Feast your eyes shit. Like it was corny as hell, but it was catchy. And like I said, if my 7-year-old daughter still remembers it, and so, you know what I'm saying, that was still ingrained in her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just always feel like they handicap everybody.
No, I mean, I got you. I completely understand where you're coming from there. Damian Priest is new in Dijak. I'm still looking for that damn tweet. Oh, here we go. Not gonna lie, Bearcat Lee is easily the best thing WWE has done with Keith Lee since coming up to main roster. Now let's get some big wins. It's kind of a simple statement. It really is a simple statement. And I mean, it's not wrong because what else have they done with him? Nothing.
Literally.
Nothing. You know what I mean? So the fact that they're doing something it's like that's how low the bar is we're holding. It's just like at least they're playing with their toy finally, you know?
Right.
But
Austin Theory too. That's my guy. I'm hyped for Austin.
yeah, at least now we got a young guy.
Right.
You know, because I mean, if there's one thing that you have to compliment AEW, in my opinion, about is they are investing in a roster of guys in their mid to young 20s.
Yeah.
And WWE needs to have at least a couple. Because you got to remember, in WWE's eyes, on main roster, their young guys are typically in their early to mid 30s.
Yeah,
you know?
literally.
That's their young guys. So Austin Theory coming out, I think Austin Theory's only like 24.
Yeah, and just turned it because I think he was like 21 or 22 when they signed him originally. So
yeah, no, he's doing good work, man. He's out there beating up Jeff Hardy, Dominic Mysterio on this episode, taking douchebag selfies with like the ref. It's all working for him.
I used to tell Vince this when he was in NXT when he first signed. Like I've seen him probably 3 or 4 times in Evolve when he was the Evolve champ.
Yeah,
and he did some stuff with Keith Lee. Keith Lee and Matt Riddle. That's fucking dope. But like, we haven't seen anywhere near the best of him on the mic. Like the kid is. Everyone looks at me like I'm crazy and thinks I'm just talking shit. Like he is John Cena-esque on the mic.
Yeah.
Like he can control the crowd and make a crowd do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Granted, it was in small little fucking venues and only could hold like 500 to 1,000 people. But like his fluidity and everything that he does on the mic and his character too, like we have nowhere near seen what he's capable of. Like nowhere near.
Yeah, and I mean the size of the audience doesn't always play a huge factor in it. You know what I mean? Like whether you're in a smaller ballroom or you're in an arena like 5,000-10,000 people, right. If you can get a reaction out of a certain percentage of a small room, that just means you're going to retain that percentage most likely in a larger room. Right. You know, so yeah,
he's awesome. Like awesome. Like I said, I kind of fell off on him after the allegations and shit he had that kind of derailed his career for a little bit. But I've been touting his praises literally since I started on this show.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and the last thing was that ladder match we mentioned earlier in the evening. Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins. The only criticism I have about this is in my opinion, I knew watching, I was like, they're not going to do a face versus face title match. And the only heel in the match was Seth Rollins. So for me, I was pretty much 100% convinced. I was like, yeah, this is definitely going to Seth. And then how we kind of break down each character, we knew it wasn't going to be Rey. Rey's not going to get a title shot out of nowhere. Kevin Owens, like we said, if he's really out the door in January, they're not going to give him a high-profile match. Finn Balor was really the only one you might have made an argument for that might have got that win. But
and I called this. I didn't think they'd do it this soon, but I knew that this was going to be the feud that they wrote out, and hopefully that it can actually turn into something decent. But my thing was like, why did you have him lose at Crown Jewel and then make him the number 1 contender the next night?
Yeah, I mean, that's just WWE booking for you. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to go back and watch a single segment from Raw, it's going to be that Fatal 4-Way title match. That could have main evented a pay-per-view.
It could have.
The match was fantastic, and they gave it a lot of time too. That was the thing. I want to say now, obviously, it's been a week since we watched the match, but I want to say they had about almost a full half hour long match. Yeah, it was fantastic. Let's move over to the heaviest Halloween themed show of the week. That's going to be NXT's Halloween Havoc. RN, man, Toxic Attraction. Looks like they're the new. What was some of the people saying? They're the new Undisputed Era of NXT.
It's looking like it.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm happy for the faction success. We saw
Yeah.
Gigi Dolan and I'm sorry, it's what JC Jane, I believe, is her partner.
Yeah, I think so. I always forget their names. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, Gigi
Yeah,
and
yeah,
JC. Yeah, I'm
JC
looking
James.
at it
Yeah,
now. They won their ladder match to kick off the night, but the ladder match got a huge amount of criticism. It was very dangerous.
yeah.
The match never seemed to have a solid flow, and the reason being is Io Shirai was like the only seasoned veteran in this
Mm-hmm.
match. When you have the rest of the participants, who granted are coming along, but they're just not there yet.
No.
And
And this is the same criticism I always have at NXT 2.0 and why I can't really get into it because like they put these people in positions they're not ready for.
yeah,
And I know why they're doing it. They're trying to get them ready and trying to get them seasoned. But you don't put people like a lot of these guys. And I hate to bring up the gender part, but a lot of these guys on the indies were already doing ladder matches and shit. Like they were already prepared for stuff. These women are home. Most of them are homegrown in the WWE system. They ain't did no fucking ladder matches. They just now started giving women ladder matches here within the last couple of years. So it's like this match was set up to fail from the beginning to me. Like you said, being that it was only Io in there that had any real experience and
yeah.
definitely any real experience in this type of match.
There was a really scary spot where Io
Yeah.
was on the ladder in the ring, and there was a ladder laid on the apron and announce table on the outside, and Io was pushed off the ladder through the other ladder, but she came down face first, and only at the last second was able to roll through and take the impact on her shoulders and roll off. And honestly, it looked like she took the bump very safely. It just looked extremely sketchy. Like anybody
Right.
with less experience could have seriously been injured. The only reason Io wasn't is because she's probably so damn talented.
Right.
Yeah. The later in the evening though, we had Joe Gacy and
Grayson Waller.
well, he took on Malik Blade. I was trying to think of Harland. The continuation of their story. This time, I don't know, man. It's a little weird. Their dynamic's kind of weird. I love Joe Gacy, his entrance and his character, though.
Yeah, he's fire.
Yeah, I'm
He's
not gonna lie.
he actually was in Evolve. He was in a group with Swerve and a couple other people.
Yeah,
But no, he's amazing on the mic.
it just seems like we're gonna get this dynamic eventually where Harlan becomes his personal like monster hitman.
Yeah.
That's the direction we're obviously going here.
Harlan kind of reminds me of like Batista when he came out with fucking Devon Dudley.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. I was like, what is a good comparison for this? No, perfect. No, very good, very good. You guys, because both Gacy and Devon had a really hokey gimmick, although I think Gacy's kind of works for him. But that really varies. That opinion varies depending who you ask. Yeah, and Harland is obviously looks like he has a ton of potential, but this first gimmick they're sticking him with just looks so funny, man. Just like you said, Deacon Batista. Like there's a star there, but it ain't no damn guy with a collection plate around his neck or Harlan running around in this Michael Myers jumpsuit every week,
And if you're gonna do that, then fucking unleash him. Like show what he can do.
Yeah, I mean they'll get around to it, man.
They will. Like I said, shit happens.
Yeah. The second half of Toxic Attraction picking up titles. Mandy Rose took on Raquel Gonzalez. If you asked me 3 months ago, will Mandy Rose be NXT champion? I would have laughed and said, hell no.
Right.
She's come a long way. The match was all right. I mean, it's as good as you're going to get out of Mandy Rose, and I don't mean that as an insult. It was good. You obviously knew there had to be some hokey booking to get her that win. That came in the form of a returning Dakota Kai, absolutely smashing the back of Gonzalez with that shovel. I hope that shovel was a prop because that sounded.
Sound like it.
Oh my god, dude, that sounded painful. But yeah, Mandy Rose picked up the victory in Toxic Attraction. I think that's like the biggest talking point of the whole show.
Yeah.
was their victory. I mean, you had other good stuff. Imperium took on MSK. MSK finally got some cheers from the crowd.
Still getting booed.
Yeah, but they did get some cheers though. They finally got people behind them a little bit.
Right.
And then probably the biggest head scratcher was Tommaso Ciampa retained against Braun Breaker. You and I were positive Braun was going to win this.
Yeah. Like I said, this is just add this to the list of things, like I said, that just still doesn't make any damn sense with NXT 2.0. Like, you've done all of this. You revamped the entire fucking roster. You got rid of all your veterans. All you have is these young guys. The one stalwart is Ciampa, and you have it set up for your new guy to take over and take the belt and run. And then you don't pull the fucking trigger.
Yeah. And I will say this, in my opinion, I don't know how well it's shared. Ciampa stands out like a sore thumb now on this roster.
Yes.
Like, he really, like, and I'm not saying he doesn't belong, like, I don't like watching him, but it's just like.
He's small and he's old and gray.
Yeah, he just, aesthetically, he just stands out. Like, yeah. But rumor is, so they've announced the UK tour, and Breaker and Ciampa are paired up in some NXT title matches, along with actually surprisingly Sami Zayn. But typically, when you see guys paired up in live events, that means their feud's going to continue. Right. So we'll probably get a rematch, not maybe down the road. I'm hoping not too far from now.
I'm just going to flat out say it. This was, how as Halloween Havoc goes, especially compared to last year, this was a fucking letdown for me. Like, the match results, everything. Like, the match, let's just be honest. The quality of matches in NXT is not NXT level anymore because they have these young guys. And a lot of it, I can't shit on them for it because, like we said, these aren't 10, 15-year wrestling veterans finally getting a shot, so they have a work rate. These are new people that even some of the guys have been wrestling a little while, like Briggs was in the ball because other people were in the ball, but these are still people that are not very seasoned yet, and the work rate is unbelievably ass. And then the stuff with Ciampa, like, I don't believe in Braun Breaker yet. Yes, I see that there's a star and it's in his fucking blood. Like, you can see Big Papa Pump oozing out of that. You know, and it's that. You can just still see that direction and that kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and they reference it frequently, man. They, like, Chucky was in the show. They got a shot of Chucky and Breaker in the same room, similar to Rick Steiner and Chucky. And then, of course, Chucky took a dig at him and said, hopefully being a loser doesn't run in the family. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, with this, and like, you had it set, you had everything set up for this man to be the new face of your new direction. And then they didn't pull the fucking trigger. I'm like, I was so like I don't even want to say surprised. It was more like disappointing, even though, like I said, I'm not even a fan of the guy, but like, moving forward for your new direction, like, this is the move that needed to be made.
What did you think of oh man, I saw one really bad hot take. Forgive me. What's the guy who just won the North American Championship? Carmelo Hayes, and then and is Trick it Williams. who's his buddy there? Is it Trick Williams?
Yeah.
I saw some hot take that they were dressed up like god dang Crime Time running through
yes and no.
Dexter Loomis's house, man.
It was more like some Tupac shit, but yeah, I can see that too with the Crime Time. Crime Time was lame as fuck. I'm gonna be honest, I don't care what anybody says. Yes, they are dope and as a team and everything, but like, how they dressed and how they actually they were lame.
Oh no, it was abysmal. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. Black people never dressed so like that in real life. John Cena dressed more like a black person than Crime Time ever.
Jesus Christ!
I'm just being honest.
It was like whoever booked them watched like Bad Boys, and was like, yeah, that's it. That's what it is. Everybody. But
it was more like they watched like Malibu's Most Wanted. It was like, yeah, you need wristband. Like, get the hell out of here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, man.
Overall, I wasn't into that either. Like the skits and everything with Dexter Loomis, like, I wasn't like, I'm just down on NXT. Like, I'm trying to like stay in it and like trying to still be the NXT guy, but like, I don't have anything to latch on to. Like, I love Carmelo Hayes and Diamond Mine, but that's really it. Like, that's really the only reason why I stick around and watch the show is Carmelo Hayes and Diamond Mine. Like,
I think they're gonna. I'm holding out hope. I enjoyed Halloween Havoc. I really did. it's not my favorite show of the week. You know what I
Right.
mean? But yeah, you know what, where I can feel your criticism because you've been watching NXT and you've watched them during their golden era and
Right.
now this, whereas myself, I've always been very casual with it. Like I catch all the takeovers, which by the way, we might not be getting any.
Right.
Um uh and then I would tune in occasionally, like if I had some free time or there was a really hyped up match. Um so like I said, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it.
No,
Honestly,
I
I
didn't hate it
didn't. I
either.
didn't hate really any of the shows this week. I'm not gonna lie. Raw probably was the roughest to get through, and even then, it wasn't like a terrible show. It's just,
And like I said, that's the thing with Raw. Like I thought Raw was maybe the best show of the week, but the fact that that's just 3 hours and like trying to stay awake to get to that main event, like that was the hardest part about Raw. It wasn't so much what they did or didn't do. It was just a war of fucking attrition to get to the
yeah.
end.
I think Raw had the highest caliber match. I'm not gonna say the best match, but that 4-way ladder match with everybody
Yeah,
involved definitely was like the highest profile match in my opinion.
right.
Let's go ahead. We'll move on over to Dynamite now. Uh, Dynamite came from Boston. The match of the night easily was Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida. These two tore it down, man. Deeb is, in my opinion, the best technical wrestler in maybe all of the women's division. Like,
There's no maybe about it.
yeah, Jesus,
And
that
Sheeta to me is top 3 women's wrestler in the world. Like her charisma, her move set, the striking. Like
she puts
I
it all
can't
together.
turn. I can't turn away when she's on the screen. Like, and normally I'm not like I don't want to say I'm not into like the fucking character, the weird anime character and shit that most of these Japanese people do. Like, but like it's just something about her. Like I cannot look away.
She has that it factor, man.
Yeah, and I am never disappointed. Like all her moves, everything. Like it just like it's just fucking dope. Like she's literally probably one of the dopest female wrestlers out right now. Probably if you held a gun to my head and said pick a female wrestler that's you can only watch her matches, I'd probably pick Sheeta. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's the most well-rounded package, maybe excluding like promo ability, but I
Right.
mean that's just because I speak English. I bet she's charismatic as hell in Japanese,
Exactly.
you know. Um, the story around this was, of course, Deeb turned heel in their previous match, denying Shida her 50th win, winning clean too, by the way, and then attacking her after the match. This is the rematch, and also a match in the TBS tournament that they're doing for the first TBS champion.
The host championship.
Yeah. But
Tell me that don't say hose.
yeah,
I swear it says hose.
I know. But the story really was Deeb attacking Sheeta's leg and Sheeta just fighting from beneath. Deeb is insanely talented. I think it's one of the most shocking things is that she was the girl from CM Punk's little straight edge society cult.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think nothing of her. Probably hardcore fans followed her when she left.
Right.
Seemingly out of nowhere, she appears in AEW when it reemerges as an NWA women's wrestler. And then slowly but surely just captivates everyone's imagination. And then just, I think this was her coming out. 2 matches, like both matches with Sheeta, was just a masterclass of professional wrestling. I personally say their feud is the best non-title women's feud in AEW outside are currently like Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa had.
Yeah.
I could watch these women have a series of 7 matches easily.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, dude. It was so good. Sheeta ended up getting the win in the end, which also did mark her 50th win. She's the first female to get 50 wins in AEW. Fantastic match. You have to go back and watch it if you're a fan of like I said, what does everyone criticize AEW for? Not having like storytelling, good matches.
Right.
I'm sorry, man. This was fantastic, man. What'd you think of the Halloween party match?
Eh.
Really?
I don't know. I guess I'm just getting old and crotchety. I don't know.
It was Dark Order dressed up as various people from Kratos to a horse to cowboys, and they took on the Elite, which, by the way, it might be true that Impact is no longer working with AEW because the Good Brothers haven't been seen in a while. Don Callis is reported to stay on AEW, but we haven't seen him either for a couple weeks.
Right.
As well.
Because it's over. It'll be over tomorrow, right? In November 1st, I said?
What I read, I didn't do too much digging, but what I read, it was Bound for Glory marked the finish of the working relationship. And not saying, and I think from what the reports came, it's not saying that they won't work together, is that there's just literally nothing in place right now. They don't have anything planned. It would be silly of Impact to say that they just flat out wouldn't work with AEW again, just because regardless how poorly it was handled, you're always still going to benefit, even if it's a little bit of that cross exposure, in my opinion. But yeah, no, it was
whatever they do next, like they got to get something out of it because they were not represented well. They just weren't.
I completely agree with you. I'd like to see Impact if they do another thing. I'd like to see Impact punch more, like get the jump on them, even if it's playing dirty. Get the jump on them, get some dirty wins in there, get something going. They
completely shit on them. I'm sorry, they completely shit on them.
Yeah. I mean,
and then setting up Christian, because Christian's AEW, isn't he?
Yeah. He's AEW. He's not contracted to Impact.
That's what I thought. So you had two AEW guys fighting over the Impact title.
Yeah, it would have been good that Josh Alexander win if it wasn't overshadowed by Moose. Which, by the way, Moose. I know we don't do Impact on here. Moose had a fantastic promo. Did you watch that?
Yes, he's fucking raw, bro. Raw. I watch Impact religiously.
Yeah.
That's my shit. I love it.
Man, that was good. He said, what did he say? He's like, I don't care how elite you are. I don't care what tribe you're the chief of. I don't care if you're the boss. I don't care if you're the man, the woman. I don't care if you add a new day to the week. It was just so many not so subtle references.
And the worst part is too, even with his lisp and everything, and like even that ridiculous fucking name, like you cannot help but take that man serious.
Yeah, he has a very grounded character, very realistic, gritty character. That it's kind of like that no nonsense. It's kind of like the Briscoes to me. I don't think the Briscoes are characters. I fully believe that's just who they are.
No, that's definitely them.
That's them.
That's definitely them.
Yeah, and so that's kind of how I feel about Moose as well. He's got a very grounded character. Match
was dope though. Like I said, I wasn't into the Ghostbuster shit. Was kind of dope. I can't even front on that. I'm just a Ghostbuster stan though.
Yeah,
but the match was fire.
It was fun. I mean, like I said, if you're not into the PWG stuff, this is always going to get on your nerves. At least they did tie together good storytelling in the end of the match.
Well, my thing is too, like I'm a disciplined AEW. I'm a shit on AEW if I get a chance to, but this match, these 5-person matches, like people think that they're supposed to be like 5-star fucking technical matches. Like, no, you have 10 dudes in the ring. That shit could go wrong at any fucking time. Like, that's what these matches are for. Like, don't judge it on against normal tag matches, just normal matches in general. Like, these matches are supposed to be ridiculous, over the top fun, especially when you have groups like the Elite and fucking the Dark Order. Like, that's what they are. Like, the criticism over this match made no sense to me.
Yeah, and to be frank, it's what got most of the wrestlers here to the dance.
Exactly.
Was putting on matches like this. The storytelling point came towards the end of the match where the person in the horse costume that was in Dark Order was kidnapped to the ring, like quadruple super kicked by the Elite. When the mask was taken off, it was revealed to be Brandon Cutler with his mouth duct taped, and the Stay Puffed guy who had been in the Elite's corner was standing behind Matt Jackson, took his mask off, and was revealed to be Hangman Page, who has officially not like rejoined the Dark Order, but has officially like come back to help them out and helped assist them to get a win, which was good because the Elite has been on kind of a really big hot streak lately. So it was nice to see somebody to get a win over them. But yeah, really fun match. And then low key banger, by the way, CM Punk defeated Bobby Fish. It's not much else to it. These guys just have a really good match.
There was no doubt in my mind that was going to be a fire ass match.
Yeah, man.
Because Bobby's like, the thing with Bobby is his age and his health. But people forget the run that him and Kyle O'Reilly went on before they got to WWE as Red Dragon. They wrestled every tag team all over the world and held every fucking tag team championship there was to be held outside of WWE. They had them all. So it's like he just couldn't stay healthy in WWE. So you kind of forget how good of a wrestler he actually is and how fucking entertaining he actually is too.
Yeah. No, I mean, he was out there like smashing those leg kicks. And no, I mean, and this is probably actually it's no probably about it. This is CM Punk's best match since joining AEW.
Sure.
In my opinion. Some minor things really quick, and then I want to get to like the bigger the last talking point of AEW before I find myself just running down the whole card and showing the entire thing too much attention. MJF squashed Bryce Donovan, cut another promo on Darby. Sting and Darby appeared and got their comeuppance on him. It was good. I mean, but it's more of the same. More of the same stuff we've been getting from him, but MJF is consistently just fire on the microphone. Like that's the big thing from it.
Right.
Sammy retained against Ethan Page. This match was held back by being over-stipulated. These guys had a good match in a bubble, but saying that Sammy had to leave Inner Circle if he lost kind of spoiled the ending of the match. It wasn't needed. And then at the end of the match, since he won, Chris Jericho and them, they're going to get to pick this upcoming Wednesday, the teammates of I guess American Top Team. It looks like Tony Nese is going to will be his debut Dynamite match. I have a feeling that because Tony Nese was shown ringside upset by Sammy's victory, so I think they're going to somehow get Tony Nese involved in this. I fucking
love Tony Nese, man. I really do.
Yeah,
I do.
He's white bread on the mic, but everything else about the man is fantastic. He is extremely talented. I predict he won't be actually in the match, but I predict he will be involved in the match.
Right.
And then lastly, let's go ahead and talk about this. John Moxley also defeated 10 in a very bloody squash match. John Moxley has just torn through everybody in this competition. It's going to come. Yeah. Hey, buddy. Son just popped in. Okay, so let's talk about this promo Cody did. Okay. So, got a cameo from my 6th son. I heard you have a temperature today. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not smelling good.
Okay. All right. I don't like to put a time limit on these podcasts, but I think it's fair to tell my wife that we're going to have this wrapped up in 15 minutes so we can try to go trick-or-treating.
I'm with it.
Okay.
See, he's ready to go. I saw he had his costume.
Everybody is in costume right now. Hey, do you want to show off your Venom costume really quick? My son Gavin's in here. Come stand right here, bud. Oh, no, just come on over. He doesn't need the mask. We got to wrap this up.
Oh, that's fire.
There you go. All right, go on. Dad is going to talk about pro wrestling for just a couple more minutes. He's just gave me this like, what? He's ready to get some candy.
I feel him.
Yeah. Hey, y'all want to shut the door? Thank you. Life of being a dad and a podcaster.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cody, let's go back to Cody here. He declared himself a babyface forever, which
is heel as fuck.
I know it's so heel, right? The way he did this, dude, he has a way of captivating me in the like. I don't know how. Like, how would you? I'll let you paraphrase this better for me. But he has a way of winning me in the moment, right? But then once he leaves the room, I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like,
No, that's it. It's literally what his dad would do. It was just the opposite way. Like Dusty would do that to us and make us feel good. Like, what the fuck? I actually like that. Well, it's because he's such a dickhead and so unlikable, but he's so good at what he fucking does. And like you said, next thing you know, you didn't give him your wallet and shit. Like, what the fuck happened? Yeah. I didn't get my wallet.
Yeah, no, I'm angry at this guy. It's almost like if you're in a relationship and your spouse or your partner did something dirty and they just swooned you by sweet talking you, and you're like, okay, cool, and then they leave the room, and then you realize, like, wait, no, I'm still mad at you. What the hell's going on? Like,
it's like when Cal Nine took Ricky's wife and life and everything. He's calling. He's like, man, why am I talking to you?
Yeah, yeah.
Man, come on, man. You still mad about that?
Yeah. Well, anyways, he does it in the classic manner, and the thing is he put everyone over himself. He said he's got a wife that's too hot for him, a daughter that's too good for him. His brother is a Hall of Famer and is a better wrestler than him, and that if he wrestled for another 300 years, he'll never develop the legacy that his dad has, right? Which
all things were true.
Yeah, exactly. And it does draw a bit of sympathy. And he even tells the crowd, walk a mile in my shoes, and throws his shoes into the crowd. And so this promo, I'm not gonna lie, I really liked it, and I gotta say it is my promo of the week by default. It was very effective. Far.
I was gonna say that same thing because it's like you said, it's like he has his dad's talent, man. Like just when he doesn't matter how much you hate him, how much of a douchebag you think he really is, when you put a mic in his fucking hand, it's like a spotlight. Like everything goes dark and it's just a spotlight on him. Like that's just the brass tacks of it, man. It's always been like that.
And he did the same thing. He did the same thing when we entered the pandemic. He was the one who introduced the AEW audience to the fanless format of everything. And yeah, it was really good. I mean, but at the end of the day, you don't want to hear a man break the fourth wall and say, "Hey, my character is never going to turn into a bad guy," because then you're kind of like diluting like the act. But like I said, he did it in a way that like in the moment it felt good, but then once you have some time to sit on it, you kind of poke holes in that thing,
right?
And yeah, but like I said, it's one thing, it's him being true to his character and never wanting to take the easy road out, or B, it's exactly what a heel would tell you. You know exactly. What I mean? So we can still leave you.
If we get that in the end, after all this, he just turns into a straight up fucking monster heel. When it's all said and done, like I'm gonna fucking bow down. We're not worthy to him if that's what this is all setting up to be.
Yeah. This leads to Andrade to come out to confront Cody. Lights go out. They come back up. Malachi Black has joined forces. They take out Cody and Arn Anderson. This is going to lead to some sort of tag match between Cody. Who would his partner be? Probably Dusty, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably Dusty. I mean, he was the only current wrestler that he talked about in his promo. And I can't really think of anybody else that has a reason to team with Cody.
He said Lee Johnson. He talked about some of the other guys from the Monster Factory.
That's true, yeah. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like this would be a time when you introduce an up and comer. It seems like you'd have like an established person,
right? It has to be his brother.
Yeah, I think it has to be his brother, in my opinion. But yeah, it was, like I said, Dynamite, in my opinion, was a fantastic show from top to bottom. Like always, you can go ahead, put in the jokes. The I'm a shill for AEW, but They just have a way of delivering, in my opinion, 3 to 5 stars consistently throughout a whole show. Like usually the worst they'll ever do normally is like a mediocre to like slightly good. Like, I don't know. It's my opinion though. It's just my opinion.
One thing I will give them credit on is that, like we were talking about earlier, They let the guys do what brought them to the dance. They don't try and handicap anybody. Now, sometimes they let that go a little too far. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes they do need to fucking reel some things in. But for the most part, they let you do what caught their eye and got you signed with them to begin with. And a lot of times that's all it is just letting the wrestlers be themselves and have a good match. Like,
they're not bringing Keith Lee in, taking the mic away from him and telling him to meander in the ring.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Getting mad because he's too big and making him put on those god awful fucking basketball shorts and a bra.
Not gonna lie, I kind of low key like his Bearcat outfit. I'm not gonna lie, man.
I like it because it's actually the Cincinnati Bearcats. Literally, their uniforms like that with the claw marks on the side and shit. But still, like, it's like, come on, bro. You just put him in. He's literally just a bigger version of Angelo Dawkins' outfit.
Yeah, no, that's true, David. I never thought about it. No, I'm not gonna be able to unsee it.
He's just missing a headband.
Oh man. All right, let's bring it home. I'll go ahead and fill you in on SmackDown and Rampage. Let you react to it. Let me see here. Let me get the thing crossed over. Is it this one? Yep, SmackDown first. Okay, so on SmackDown, like I said, I saw that Charlotte opened the show. A whole lot of nothing there. They're just pushing her, Sasha Banks, around. There was this weird thing. I didn't get to see this, but apparently we got a match between Charlotte and Shotzi Blackheart, right?
Yeah.
And then Banks was playing babyface, cheering on Blackheart. And for no reason at all, hopped up on the apron and caused a distraction. Not as a heel turn, but like as a genuine mistake. You know, just classic WWE not knowing how to book a match or a finish. Blackheart obviously was distracted, lost the match, and then turned heel and rightfully attacked Sasha, who cost her the match. So more backwards booking from WWE. You have they expect us to boo Shotzi for being upset with Sasha Banks, although she was completely justified.
Yeah, I told you it's the bizarre world, the heel shit. Like, why? What in any world would somebody not be mad at them for costing them a match, or costing them, or getting them fired at their job or something? Like, what world is it where you aren't supposed to be angry at that person for screwing you over, whether it was an accident or not?
Yeah. The thing that pissed me off the most on this whole night is going to be Drew McIntyre and Mustafa Ali. And the reason why this upsets me is because Drew McIntyre comes out, he does his babyface shtick, which is fine. It's fine. Drew is good at keeping the crowd somewhat interested to highly interested in him.
Right.
You know, he's not setting the world on fire, but at the same time, it's not like people are sitting on their hands when he's out in the ring. He's good with the crowds. He does an open challenge, which is answered by Mustafa Ali. Ali comes out, does some just cheap heel insults, but has a match with Drew, ends up losing. At the end of the match, McIntyre leaves. Ali just hops on the mic and just tells the crowd they boo him. And the only reason they boo him is because his name is Mustafa Ali. This is the same thing that he turned on the crowd for literally like 2 years ago. Literally. The same promo he cut on Talking Smack. He's already done this shtick. And it's infuriating. Like, you're giving him TV time. And I heard that, you know, the whole thing with Retribution was partially due to Ali. Ali went to Vince and was like, look, what do I do to get on television? You know, right. I can do, am I too pretty? Am I too clean? Whatever. And then that's kind of how we got Retribution. Needless to say, he got on television. But like, that's what you hand the man. Like, okay, cool. We're going to need you to cut a heel promo. Just tell them that they don't like you because they're racist. Dude, we've already done this. Like, you already did this. The crowd embraced you. You had people like literally change how they pronounce Mustafa. We all went from saying Mustafa to Mustafa because you won us over, and makes no fucking sense.
And that's the thing about them, and like why I keep like, I hate having to bring the race card, but this is what happens when you only have one race of people telling a bunch of other races of people how they should act and what they should be. They don't know how to look at a Muslim man as anything other than what they see on news
Dude, he's
and
a
everything like
former
that. So they don't
police
know.
officer from Chicago.
Exactly. He's a fucking former cop right up your alley to use and promote him as that, like serving the community, all this shit that you do. And they just don't know how to market him because he's brown skinned with long hair.
Yeah.
Like that's the fucking gist of it. They don't know how to speak to other races, so they go off dumbass fucking stereotypes and shit that they always fall back on because they can't do anything. The only thing with gender is he came with that the great Maharaja shit on it, you know what I'm saying, like to add to his character, but it was still the same thing. Like you're playing up on their race because you don't know anything about these people. That man's he was a cop, bro.
Yeah, and
in
low
Chicago.
Key, I feel like it's probably the way the backstage looks at him. They have a hard time getting over the fact that he's Muslim.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I bet you, man, that has something to do with it. I'm not trying to claim. Look, I'll just because I don't like to dance on that road. That somebody else can make those high ass claims, but it's like when you're writers, that has been the center focus of their writing. At some point, you have to point the finger at the people producing the material and be like,
"Thank you."
Is that what you see? Like, is that
literally?
Yeah.
And think about it, bro. Like he is fucking one of the most beautiful people in the fucking world, especially in the world of wrestling.
Dude, he's gorgeous.
That fucking guy is gorgeous. He's a fucking former cop. He's an awesome family man. He never stops talking about his family, his wife, and his daughter and everything. Like he's everything you want your front man in front, taking care of your company.
And he donated
your company to be.
His proceeds from Crown Jewel to charity.
Like literally, he couldn't be a better man and a better person and a better representative of a fucking brand. And all you can come up is another racist fucking trope for him to parade around. Yeah, like I don't get it. I never will get it. Like I said, it's mind-boggling to me how they can't, just because of color of someone's skin, they can't figure out how to write for that person or how to make that person be something other than a trope. And
even ignoring all of that material just to reuse literally the same material you used a year or two prior. It's egregious. Other neat things that happened on the show besides that, King Xavier was having a knighting ceremony for Kofi Kingston, which was nice. He named him the Hand. Backstage, Hit Row is confirmed babyface unless there's a turn coming, because they all essentially. I didn't get to see really any of Hit Row on NXT. Did they play up like any type of goofy characters at all?
They were kind of like, they were a little bit of everything. Like they were like tweeners, but they were also funny. But they also could get serious. Like every week they were a different group. If that makes any sense.
They were clearly told match New Day's energy backstage, because Kofi and Xavier are walking backstage, and they're stopped by Hit Row. Hit Row acknowledges like Xavier, like, oops, we're sorry, we mean King Xavier. You know what I mean? And then they say something silly like they acknowledge that they need to bow to him. Instead of like kneeling like a knight, they literally just had them all do the Wayne's World, like, we're not worthy bow, which you could tell they half-assed it too. Like you could tell they did not feel comfortable doing it. Like they were just, it was the cheesiest. This
goes back to what I just said.
Yeah. No, that's why I messaged you. That's why I messaged you, man.
They don't know how to write young black people.
Yeah. It was they had them do the Wayne's World reference. They didn't even, you could have just kneeled. Like they could have acknowledged it and just did like a regular kneel like anyone else, but no, they had to do a Wayne's World pop culture reference, all four of them in unison. Which, like I said,
they would never do anything like that. When their characters in NXT, they would never do no corny shit like that, man.
Yeah. No, so I thought that was pretty off-putting. Really, the only other thing to talk about big-wise is Naomi. This feud is really playing up with Naomi. Shayna Baszler and Naomi had a match. Sonya Deville interjected herself as a special ref, did a fast count. Naomi got choked out after the match, hoping this does culminate in a great singles match. We'll have to wait and see. And then the whole night was topped off. After the knighting ceremony, the Usos challenged the New Day, which they ended up having a match. And, of course, it was a banger where the New Day ended up winning via roll-up, via Woods rolling up one of the Usos. SmackDown was okay. It was okay. But, like I said, just a couple things really stuck out like a sore thumb, and that's what I highlighted to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch it when we get done with this.
Yeah. And then finally, let me fill you in on Rampage. Of course, it's the shortest of the shows. Really, dude, this just all came down to the matches. Daniel Bryan, Eddie Kingston tore it down. Eddie Kingston was no nonsense in his match and was fantastic. And Daniel Bryan is proving two things. He's having those like where he just gets to have match of the night every week apparently, which by the way, this is my match of the week. If you're going to go back and watch it, yeah, watch Daniel Bryan and Eddie Kingston. They just beat the hell out of each other.
I can only imagine.
It's fantastic too because all of Daniel Bryan's matches have been great for different reasons. He's wrestled different styles. Thank you. I am just about done. Okay, I'm coming.
They know it's like get this man a Red Bull so we can get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Go back, watch Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston. They tore the house down. It does look like we're gonna get Kingston and CM Punk in a match. They had a backstage confrontation, which is going to be fantastic. Matt Sydal, Dante Martin had their third match, and Dante Martin finally picked up the win. At 20 years old, Lio Rush seems to be the key factor being in his corner. There was no shenanigans. There was no like heel moves.
Okay.
He was able to get Dante Martin to step up his game, and he beat Matt Sydal, easily the biggest win in probably his whole career.
By far.
Once again, shining a spotlight on your 20-year-old wrestlers. And in Dante Martin, quite literally 20 years old.
Well, you could tell they had high hopes for them. I mean, their first match out the gate was with the Bucks and the Acclaimed and all that. Like, they weren't messing around. Like, they had high hopes for them before his brother got injured, for sure.
Yeah. And then lastly, the night was capped off. Trick or treat match between Britt Baker and taking on Abaddon. This was another hardcore match. We had a thumbtack spot with Britt Baker in it. We had a spot where Britt was going to try to deliver the lockjaw, but she didn't want to put her hands in Abaddon's mouth. They had two table spots, which the table refused to break, and it just made it look brutal. The only thing about this match was it was kind of sloppy. Abaddon definitely played up that whole undead, you can't kill me vibe, where she takes huge spots. Like she had her neck crushed in a chair and then no-sold it because she's a zombie and comes back to life. So people are going to have opinions on that kind of character and that kind of selling. But ultimately, the reason why this match suffered the most was the finish. After all these huge spots that they went through, it came down from to Jamie Hayter hitting Abaddon, and then Abaddon being distracted by Rebel, and then Britt Baker wins with a roll-up. It was just kind of like a very deflating finish to what was otherwise a decent hardcore match that you could have probably put, in my opinion, as the opener. But that seems to be my always criticism, is like their opener is always the match of the night, and their main event is always kind of like mid.
Right.
But yeah, otherwise Rampage was good. If you're gonna go back and watch it, definitely Danielson and Kingston, and then probably also Martin and Sydal. You could probably skip Abaddon and Britt Baker, to be honest with you. But yeah, that was our week in wrestling, man. All right.
Through it.
Yeah. Appreciate everyone coming on here. Sorry for the hasty exit. I got to take these kids trick-or-treating. They want candy. So we're going to get out there. Once again, we appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave that 5-star rating in the on the audio side of things. And until next time, we'll catch you guys later.
See y'all next week. All right, boss. I'll hit the group chat.